Alright. This is Robbie. yeah. So I guess you're working on the silicon heads, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I guess you're gonna punch hairs and stuff into them. That's why he's done them in silicon. Punch hairs in, so to make them look realistic. You can, if you've done it in resin, you wouldn't be able to punch stuff into it, but because of this is silicon, we'll give it a little poke.
You give it a bit more depth.
Yeah.
So you started that process?
It's like so rubbery and yeah.
We're just about to start that process.
Well, I've got to paint them first because hair's the last thing that's got to happen, because obviously you've got to have your paint job over it and before you start inserting hairs. So I'm just sort of trimming them up and filling holes and getting rid of seams at the moment.
Cool.
Yeah. What are you going to use to paint them with? Oils or?
Yeah, you have to use oils and silicone, because otherwise it won't bond to the skin. So it's quite a specific sort of painting process. Otherwise, it's just peel off sort of thing.
Yeah. So there's quite a lot of technical stuff involved with painting, all sorts of different materials, because they obviously respond differently to paint. And we try and get as much depth in the painting as much. So we work a lot in layers and stuff, and yeah, if you can get some translucency in the material as well and try and pigment the actual stuff you're casting in, helps a lot to kind of give it more of a lifelike quality.
They're mostly fiberglass, the two bodies, up to the hands and the feet and the necklaces. The heads are silicone, and basically the necklaces mask the seam. So these are quite sort of soft and malleable. They're quite sort of which that means you can sort of punch hair into them. And your problem with that is you've got to match the colour and make them look as if they're one thing. The hair in the face of that one is actual beard hair. To get the right thickness, grew a beard and then shaved it off, and then you punch the hairs in individually. The eyebrows are chest hair, because you need a taper on the end of each hair, otherwise it looks strange. So that's all chest hair. And the eyes.
Whose chest hair?
Mine.
And your beard?
Yeah. And the eyes are from Moorfield Eye Hospital. If you lose an eye, these are exactly what they'll replace them with. We had them sort of specially made up. Those ones, obviously, you don't really get eyes that look like that, so I gave him sort of a bit of a brief to work to, and he sort of made them really, really well there. And the teeth are sort of plastic, and they just pop right out because they're in silicone. And there's a separate piece of silicone inside the head that's gum colour, so they just pop in and out. And the only other thing is, the hands are microcrystalline wax, so they're moulds. They're the only part I didn't sculpt. Alginate moulds, and then you pour hot wax into them, which again the only trouble is trying to match the colour. Yeah, and the boy, there isn't any fiberglass in him. He's just a head, and then from there down, it's just a mannequin that's been dressed.
What did you do for a series of sketches, or?
Did a few sort of human form sketches. Just did sort of where you give yourself something to copy, and then you give yourself about 2 minutes to do it. So you sketch really fast, so it gives you a better understanding of anatomy and sort of where the bones are and everything. And obviously we all had to do a lot of studies of anatomical sort of, because that's the major thing to get over. That's what takes most time.
Were these features based on anyone?
Yeah, we didn't have any models this year, so if I needed exact reference, it's basically off of me. That's why that one's ended up looking a little bit too much like me. And that the one in the middle is, I took a load of photographs of my little sister before she shot up. She was kind of at an age where we kind of take her features and either be a boy or a girl, and then a couple of photographs of me when I was little, just to get it in between a boy and a girl, so I could decide at the last minute which I'd prefer.
Cool. And what about that one? How did you change the features on that? And
well, that one, I mean, I've got some sculptures of him in that book when he was his first, the first design, and it was a huge, great thing. I did a head, and it was kind of from shoulder to shoulder. It's kind of out here, and it's kind of like this huge ape thing. And obviously, and I sort of sculpted that and finished it, but it was kind of a bit of a tacky design, and was nicely made, but it was just a rubbish design. So then sort of went, sort of tried to give it some meaning behind why he looks the way he does. And there's sort of a lot of features from animals on there. Underneath the eyes, that's directly taken from sort of chimps, and obviously that's a bat nose. And obviously he's supposed to be sort of digressing, because he's kind of being so violent, not really sort of being very intelligent and sort of, obviously abusing his kids. So he's kind of supposed to be going back to an animalistic state slowly.